Yeah, there's a lot of CBO bashing going on these days. No, certainly, I wish it were true. I think everyone wishes that you could cut taxes and that would unleash such huge growth that it would fix our fiscal problems. But clearly, that's not the case. There are a number of outside estimators who are looking at the tax bill, the reconciliation bill, and trying to figure out what the effects on economic growth would be. And here's the way it works: tax cuts have positive effects on growth, but not enough to generate enough revenues that they offset all of the loss from the
Yeah.
tax cuts themselves, usually about 20%. The problem is that this tax bill in particular isn't as pro-growth as what we saw in 2017. The corporate tax rate cuts, those were very pro-growth. This less so, chops up the tax base in a lot of ways. And our debt is now so large that the negative effects of
Right.
debt even outweigh those positive effects of tax cuts. So the bashing is just
Right.
like angry parents yelling at the ref.
I love that. Sounds like my weekend. Maya McGuineas, Henrietta Trays was with us. And the basic idea is we dash to the Senate for the big, beautiful bill that there will be moderate Republicans out there to save the budget day. Does that beast exist, or are they prehistoric and have they left the
Oh,
room?
yeah, no, I wish that's how I thought it were going to play out. I'm worried because I think the moderate Republicans, just like we saw in the House, may actually be pushing to make the bill worse. So the bill has the big
Wow.
tax cuts and the medium spending cuts. And what you're seeing from the moderates is they're more concerned about fewer spending cuts than more fiscal responsibility. And then on the very conservative side, where you have people who are willing to do the spending cuts you would need, they also are more prone to believe the myths of the fairy tale that growth can fix everything and you don't have to make any structural changes. So the problem is nobody makes hard choices in the budget anymore. We can do tax
Why?
cuts with cuts
Paul,
or
stop. Paul wants to get in here. I'm going to ask
all
the
right.
rude question. Maya, what in God's name happened in Washington? Where is the adultness of this debate?
You know what killed adultness? I think partisan polarization. We are so much more focused on Republican versus Democratic preferences than we are how you fix the country. It's not just fiscal. We're not fixing any of the big problems where there's anything you actually have to do because the political calculation of don't let that other side have a win is outweighing the calculations of compromise and country first. And I'm deeply concerned about it. Just like polarization's undermining everything, are weak fiscal positions keeping us from being prepared for the AI race we're in, the new need to fix our social contract, global national security issues that are riskier than they used to be. All of these things, I think our polarization is put so much sand in the wheels, we're not getting anything done. And that's not allowing the adults to come forward. They exist. Behind closed doors, they're talking about it, but politically, it's
Yeah.
not rewarded right now in this populist and polarized moment. And we got to figure out a fix for that.
I've been in this market since 1986. Nobody cares about deficits and the national debt.
Yep.
Why should we, realistically?
Well, the bond market is starting to be a bit of a reminder. We actually are hearing so many more reminders. I'm with you. It's been just deafening in terms of people being concerned about it, other than those of us who work on this all the time for the past years. But you're hearing many more concerns right now, with warnings, with downgrades, with problems in the bond markets, with other countries looking at the U.S. debt and thinking this isn't as great this isn't as sure thing as it used to be. We have the reserve currency, we're the safe haven. The central bank did a lot that kept rates down for a long time. Many of these trends could gradually be shifting, and the whole point is we should not wait to find out if and when we get ourselves into trouble. We should fix the situation where we still have all of those privileges and it's much easier to do so.